Now, just over a week ago, I did a story on greymouth woman Brittany Kramers, who just wants a normal life, to look normal and to feel normal. For 2 decades, she's lived with constant pain and severe facial disfigurement. After she was diagnosed with aggressive cancer as a child, life-saving surgery involved removing a chunk of her jaw. Here's part of the interview we did.
And I need to have potential ownership. I struggle doing daily things. I struggle feeling empty half the time. It hurts to talk. It hurts to eat. It hurts to, it hurts to listen to you,
But she did that interview because she wanted her story told. Nearly $300,000 was raised to fund surgery so a prosthetic could be attached to her jaw. But this was put on hold because ACC declined her claim to fund post-surgery treatment. After our story aired, Kiwis were outraged by this, but we have a good news update. ACC has just come to the party and will fund the post-surgery treatment, which is wonderful news. And for more on this, we are joined now by a very happy mum, Brittany's mum, Dawn. When and where did you find out the good news?
Well, yesterday morning actually, but I'd missed a call from ACC and an email late Friday afternoon, so we were a very nervous weekend waiting to see what they wanted, and Brittany was very negative, saying they're just going to tell you they declined it again, Mum. But yes, yesterday morning we got it, and still a bit foggy about it all. Really, can't really believe that it's happened, and I'm not sure it's sunk in completely with Brittany yet, but it
is the most fabulous news. And what does this mean now? So how soon can Brittany have this surgery?
So I have spoken to the head and neck surgeon up north, his PA, and we're going to go to Auckland, sounds like early Feb, for a planning meeting. It's not going to be one surgery, it'll be a lot of surgeries and a lot of planning. So big year ahead next year, but great news, and we're feeling really confident about it all and a bit nervous at the same time. So, but no, good news that they've come to the party and they will fund more than just aftercare. They'll fund a lot of the surgery as well, because the claim is taken back to when 2008, when the first treatment injury occurred. So fantastic. Yep.
It is fantastic. I remember the first time when you claimed it took 9 months for them to come back to you to say they were declined. Why did they change their minds? Talk us through that in layman terms.
The doctor that reviewed it was more of a plastic surgeon than a maxillofacial consultant, which is what we needed to review what had happened. And we had another surgeon from Christchurch review it, and he disagreed with the first surgeon and totally agreed with the claim that it was a treatment injury. It dates back to 2008 because of the lack of monitoring of the free flap that she had put in her face when the jaw was removed. 8 hours of no monitoring of the flap, and the flap died. So they had to go with another flap from her abdominal, one of the abdominal muscles, and this just wasn't it. This is what's caused all the problems and all the failures of the many surgeries and reconstructions that she's had. So it's fantastic news that they've acknowledged that.
What will it mean for Brittany? How will this change her life? Completely.
She, it's not so much she wants to look different. Of course she wants to look different. She's a young woman. It means you'll be able to understand her. She'll be able to eat properly. She'll be able to drink properly, not be stared at. It's life-changing. And we know it's not going to be a very quick fix. It's going to be a long fix because there's a lot to do, but it will be life-changing. It'll give her back her life. It'll give us all back her life. It'll help with her mental health 100%. So,
and I know she wants to be a youth worker, which is wonderful, and give back to the community. I want you, though, to give us an insight into how tough it has been, not just for Brittany, but for you as well over the past 2 decades.
Just heartbreaking. Failure after failure after failure, seeing her just just completely change from a bubbly 8-year-old to going through cancer, losing friends through cancer, not being able to have a life that most people take for granted, going to school, having friends, getting a job, studying, just everything. For us, financially, it's been tough. Mentally, it's been tough. I've been the number one that she leans on and her number one advocate, which I would do again in a heartbeat. Losing both my parents in a very short time is heartbreaking for Brittany, because they were her biggest fans. And the first thing I said to ACC, yes, I wish my parents were here to share this with. So, and you know, we've made some wonderful friends. I've got some wonderful friends over here. My colleagues have been so supportive. Just huge. I can't even fathom what it's going to mean for Brittany in the long term. But if she can have her dream of becoming a youth worker, you know, not have to worry about the pain, not being on drugs, not worrying about what people think of her, and yeah, it's hard to explain. It's just been a huge roller coaster, and I can't. When you say 2 decades, I just can't believe it, and it has been 20 years. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. When you actually said to Brittany, we're getting the funding, ACC has said yes, what did she say?
She didn't believe me. I think she was probably 4th down the line of knowing, because she was asleep. She doesn't sleep at night, so she sleeps in. So I kept saying, are you awake? Are you awake? Are you awake? And then I rang her and she said, no. She couldn't believe it, and I still think she's a little bit gobsmacked about it all, and maybe thinking, like I'm deep down thinking, they're going to take it away, but they won't, and they can't, and I've got it in writing. So, but I think for her it's going to take a while for it to actually sink in what this means for her, because she's lived like this for so long and she doesn't know any different.
I just think it's the most wonderful news and the right decision. What do you reckon, though, because she was very close to her nana, what do you reckon her nana would have thought of this?
She would have been in tears, and don't make me start crying, please, Amanda. But she would have been in tears, and even her grandfather, she was so close to her grandfather. You know, my mum would have just been over the moon. She, you know, as grandparents and as parents, it's not something you'd wish on anyone, let alone your child. And having 20 years of this, it's just been tough. But yeah, Mum and Dad are looking down, so they'll be wrapped.
We are wrapped as well. Dawn Kramers, this is in part a huge role to you, because you have fought for your girl for the last 20 years. You never took no as an answer, and she's here today because of you, and this result is because of you. So you're an amazing mum, and well done.
I'm a mum, and I think that's what you do. I just think probably a bit bolshier than other mums, but yeah.
Don't ever change. Dawn Kramers, Brittany's mum, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Lovely.